Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first and possibly the only stream of Dredge because Starfield drops on GamePass next Tuesday and I'm going to be streaming that. So this could be a one-time stream or I might return to it after Starfield depending on the feedback. So, Dredge is actually written by a development team in New Zealand, which is nice, and published by Team 17 Games. I'm going to start a new save file here. Whoops. I will be reading the dialogue because it's not voiced. The morning light fills your eyes and you try to sit upright. You're lying on the cold, wet dock where you collapsed the night before. A short man is shouting orders at a handful of workers disembarking from a boat nearby. The man notices you. Welcome to Greater Marrow. I must say, quite the dramatic first impression. I see you've already introduced yourself to the jagged rocks along the bay. Did you not see the lighthouse? It was shining right at you. Oh well, I'm glad to see our new fisherman upright and breathing. Huh, I guess job application accepted, huh? Your boat was hopelessly damaged, but I've had a few of the locals move your things to one of our old vessels. We'll catch up later to discuss more details. I'll let you get out there to catch some fish. See if you can fill your cargo while you get your bearings in the light. Finally, I don't suppose I need to say this, but get back by sundown before the fog rolls in. Keep a close eye on the time. It can really creep up on you. Now, the time in this game only progresses while you're actually moving or fishing. So while you're at dock, the time is just the time doesn't change. And there's your initial boat. You've got one motor, the peculiar engine, which gives you a top speed of 14 knots. And you have a basic fishing pole, which only lets you catch coastal fish. In your cabin, you have access to your pursuits, which is your quests list. You've got your map of the islands, showing your location and the other 4 major settlements. The Gale Cliffs, Stellar Basin, Devil's Spine, and Twisted Strand. You've got messages. As you progress, you'll find messages in a bottle, and they go here. And of course, your encyclopedia, which divides fish up by types, and including any aberrant fish that you find, and it tells you whether, if you need a fishing rod, if you can trawl for them, if you need a crab pot, and which of the 5 major island chains they're located in, plus they're divided up by type. You notice there's our type of ocean. And you notice there's 138 species to discover. Well, not much we can do here, so let's go ahead and undock and get started. Oh, by the way, one other thing about the game that's kind of cool, they do have a mode that you can turn on or off at any time, because some people just like the fishing aspect of the game. And they actually do have a mode in the game that basically turns off all the plot elements. So all you have to do is fish. But let's go ahead and get out there. There's some fish right here. Let's find out what. Coastal fish. And blue mackerel. And you notice it says stock medium. As you progress, the stock will deplete. And if you press F while the reel is in a gold zone, you get one of the prize-winning fish. You notice these are like, that one's 5.8 inches, that one's 7.1, that one's a prize winner for blue mackerel, 10.9. A floating buoy. It serves to mark safe passage past dangerous rocks and obscure hazards. Its dim light also provides a brief respite in the gloom of the night. Oh, I don't have the right equipment for that spot yet, so I can't do anything with it. Cod. And you notice that different fish types have different shapes. It is very much like playing fish Jenga. Trying to fit as much as possible onto your boat. If you deplete a spot, the fish won't return to it for a while. The fish do recover faster if you actually leave at least a few fish in there. They recover more quickly. And I'm pretty sure I don't qualify for this one. No, I don't. You'll also find debris like this, which I don't have the dredging ability yet, so I can't get that. And there's my first message in a bottle. It's getting late. It just became night. You'll notice that some fish are only fishable during the day. Some can only be gotten during the night. But since we don't have any headlamps on this boat, we should probably go on ahead and return back to the dock for the night. You step onto the dock at Greater Marrow. The mayor is waiting nearby. Ah, I see you've returned in one piece. Very good. Before you head off to town, we should discuss the matter of your boat. As I mentioned earlier, your old boat is too badly damaged to be repaired. However, I'm more than happy to sell you that replacement vessel. Yours to own. I understand you may not have the necessary funds on hand, so we'll consider it a loan. But I want to make this easy for you. Until your debt is repaid, a tiny portion of your fish sales will go towards paying it off. A small amount of interest will go towards improving the town. So, to recap, you'll need to sell fish to the local market, paying off your debt, and in turn, keeping the population fed and satisfied. Understand? Where do I sell the fish? Our local fishmonger will appraise and purchase what you catch. He's open all hours. Off you go then. Sell those fish while they're still fresh. the fish in the game do spoil over time. In fact, at one point, there's a side quest where a woman wants a quote-unquote aged conger eel, by which she means rotten. Now you can go to your storage locker and you can move things into it, but the fish will still spoil even if they're in storage, so you know, obviously you don't want to store fish in there, but the other stuff you find, like lumber, fabric, extra crab pots that you're not currently using, can all go in there. So, let's go to the fishmonger and see what he has to say. You enter a squalid shack on the fringe of the marketplace. The familiar smell of fish fills the air. Flies buzz haphazardly around a downcast man behind the counter. You're the new fisherman, eh? Surprised they found a new one so fast. What happened to the other one? It takes a certain type of person to last out here. It's not a life for everyone. Anyway, to business. I'll pay you for fish. Bigger and fresher means more money. Some species are just worth more, too. Other towns on other islands might pay you different, but while you've still got a debt outstanding here, I'd suggest you work on paying it off first. So, let's see what you've got. Well, fortunately there is a sell all right here, and I've got $149 worth of fish, minus whatever they have. For instance, this blue mackerel, which is a little bit stale, but it's not spoiled. That one's $6.67 right there, minus $1 of debt. $6.09 for that one. $8.33 for that one. Another one for $7.97. $7.91. $8.50. Of course, these are fresh, so they're worth more. The other ones up here were stale. Then the arrow squid, $12.26. $11.55. Or $11.25 again. And then the cod, 2 foot 8 inches, huh? Wow. $15.13. $15.36. And $13.67. The mayor is standing outside the fishmonger store. Excellent work. I have no doubt you'll be able to provide for this town. Look here, I found this down by the docks. I'm sure someone like you could make something out of it. Why don't you take it? And it's a research part, which he gives me for completing that initial quest. Oh, one last thing. Our local shipwright mentioned she might be able to make some modifications to your ship. You should pay her a visit. And I still owe $27.59 on that ship loan, but all those fish I've bought in took a huge chunk out of that. As you note, I can go to the cabin encyclopedia. It shows you the average price, which for the arrow squid is $14. And the largest one I brought in is 9.4 inches. And that it's only caught at night. Then you've got the blue mackerel caught only at day. And the largest one I brought in is a prize winner at 10.9 inches. And the cod. Haven't found any aberrations yet, but we will. Here's that first message in a bottle. Morning of the second day of the honeymoon, and our first day proper. Today we're sailing around the islands and inlets at back of Greater Marrow. I love the rocks here. The layers and colors are so striking. Furthermore, the fishing is relatively poor in these shallows, so I know he'll keep his hands on the wheel instead of the rods. He renamed the boat last night, Julie. He did a fancy renaming ceremony and everything. I think he took that more seriously than the wedding. Supposedly it's very important to perform it correctly, lest you want ill fortune to follow the vessel. He wanted to throw away everything with the old name on it, but I kept the keychain. Ocean's Riches was a good name. I think he's prepared a surprise picnic lunch. I can see the basket half hidden, stuffed under a blanket at the front of the cabin. I love it when he tries to be romantic. and I've got to visit the fish right, or the shipwright, so let's do that. As you walk into the yard, you see the shipwright making repairs to a damaged hull. She looks up at you briefly before turning back to her work. You must be the new fisherman. I can make improvements to your vessel in the yard. Mind you, I'm not in the business of doing favors around here. Payment is up front, and everything takes some time to install. Also, if you take on any damage from the rocks, or any damage at all, I can patch it up. Mostly. She shrugs and gestures towards the hull she's currently attempting to repair. A number of wooden boards, all well above the waterline, are splintered and scratched. Take a look round. Just remember, the bigger the equipment, the longer it takes to install, so plan ahead. And I can get a simple skimmer for shallow water, or a weighted line, either one. But the weighted line is a little bit beyond my price range. Alternately, I can get a rusty outboard engine to add another, and I do have room for it. It's only 2 slots. But I can add another 10 knots to my speed, which will put me up at 34 knots. She doesn't have any trawl nets currently available. She does have lights available, and I probably should get one as soon as I can. But the cracked bulbs are only 500 lumens with a range of 32 feet. And the cloudy lens is 750 lumens with a range of 65 feet. So I don't think at this point I'm going to buy anything. And I can do research as well. I've got 1 research part, which I can spend on rods, such as the hydraulic rod for catching oceanic species, or better engines like the improved outboard engine. Once you research something, it becomes available at the shipwright. So if I research this, which I'm going to do, and then go back to the shipwright, you notice now it's available here. Of course, it's 200, but it's 50% better than the rusty outboard is. However, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest until a little before dawn and then undock again and go out and try to catch some more I don't have dredging equipment yet. You don't get dredging equipment until you pay off the boat, so... Can't collect that yet, for the same reason. No dredging equipment. Can't get those. Later, those rocks, I'll be able to blow them up. A pile of loose debris, clearing this would take some strong explosives. And again, explosives do become available later in the plot. Can't catch those. Or these. Well, I can get them. But first, I'm going to head over here to where you see these that red trail coming up. That usually, well, nope, I can't dredge that. Usually a red trail like that indicates a rare fish, like an aberration. Or something else worthwhile, like an artifact. Starting to get late again, so the stone hums quietly, sending ripples through the air around it. Faint shapes dance upon its surface, vanishing before your eyes can focus on them. The cold stone does not respond to your touch. There are a few places like that where what you're looking for is specific kinds of... all that's left of this boat is an old husk. You pull a little closer. Look inside and we find some lumber. An old iron chain that we can sell. Another research part. And a ring. The lighthouse towers above. Waves crash endlessly against the perilous rocks below. All creatures, human or otherwise, would have their brittle bodies broken and thrown at its feet. You ponder the intrinsic power of this structure, a vast column of stone, shouldering the responsibility of countless lives. How long will it stand? How long until it decays into ruin, its purpose exhausted? It's late and there's no more fish available, so I'd better set back into town. I've had a special order come through from a customer. If you can fulfill it, I'll pay you above normal prices. Tell me about it. They ask for 1 Gulf flounder and 1 gray eel. Just bring them in when you have them. You'll need to have a rod that can handle shallow water fish in order to catch those. The shipwright should be able to sort that for you. Keep an eye out for larger fish. They'll feed more mouths so I can pay you more for them. You can't sell this to these guys, but... all of that ought to do me some good. 1919 remaining. And research. What should I do? Should I save my spare part? Or should I go on ahead? I might as well. Research that hydraulic rod. Because that is... Here's the thing. In order to go over here and get this thing, which will handle coastal, shallow, and oceanic, you actually have to go get the flexible pole, whatever that is, and whatever that is, and the hydraulic rod, and then you can unlock that big one over here. Or a good example of the way this works, the flexible fishing pole, once you research that, it gives you access to research these. Then you have to research both of these to unlock that one, which handles coastal, shallow, mangrove, and volcanic. And pots and nets will become available later too. Well, I hate to do it, but I'll be able to sell it again later. A hunched woman approaches you from the steps of the lighthouse. She stops some distance away and looks at you with concern and apprehension. Oh. Why are you here? welcome. Fish. There's nothing here for someone like you anymore. Do yourself a favor and move on. She turns and shuffles back along the path that leads to the light. Later you'll be able to talk to her some more. Mayor wants to say something. Just the person I was hoping to see. Would you be sailing out east towards Little Marrow? Would you give this package to the dock worker there, please? The mayor hands you a small damp package bound in string. It's dripping slightly. The dock worker will pay you upon delivery. Please be quick about it. I don't want it to spoil. Don't forget to check your compass and map if you get lost. Well, first things first. Again, wait until just before dawn. We'll undock. We'll check the map. And it's the island right there across the bay. So, we'll go there right away. What, a delivery? Let's see here. He tears a small hole in the paper and peeks inside. You can't say for sure, but it feels as though he's shielding it from your view. Yeah, nice and fresh. This'll do nicely. I'm to pay you, I suppose. He hands you some money. I was given this old book a few weeks back, but it didn't make much sense to me. You'll surely get more use out of it. He pulls a crumpled book from his back pocket and hands it to you. A number of the pages are folded over. Keep it in your cabin. Perhaps you can read it while you're out on the water. Stop by for a chat anytime. I know how lonely it can be. Also, we can talk to the trader. You enter a brightly lit shop. It's packed with antiques, the shelves full of jewelry and other baubles. An old man peers at you over silver spectacles. Hello, is that... No, I don't believe we met. Forgive me, my eyes aren't what they used to be. I specialize in antiques and jewelry. I'll purchase any special trinkets you happen to have. Have you got anything nice with you today, perhaps? Well, yes. I've got this citrine ring that's worth 25 bucks. And I've got this old iron chain that's worth $7.50. So hey, that's $57.50. Not bad. And I'm gonna... Coincidentally, my storage is accessible from any dock, and they're all auto-magically linked to each other. So whatever you put in storage at one place is available anywhere else that you can access your storage. So I'm going to put that wood in there for now, since I can't upgrade the ship any yet. And right here, just off the coast, I've got some fresh fish. Gulf flounder. More cod, apparently. Now that I actually have some money coming in, I'm deliberately trying not to overfish. A new trophy fish, huh? Oh, that does remind me. I should go to my cabin. And that book he gave me, Sustainable Fishing. Now it's selected as the active book, so whenever time is passing, he's kind of reading that in the background. I don't have room on the boat for one of those. And now the boat's pretty much full, so I'm going to head back into shore. Yes. Just leave whatever you have here. I'll keep the order on ice until it's ready to go. And one of those Gulf flounder goes in there. And he wanted a gray eel, which is a shallow water fish. Then the rest. Alright, come back when you have everything. Now to regular business, eh? And sell the rest of my fish, which is $126. Minus $18.94. Oh dear. You know what? I was going to spend the night, but oh dear. Oh, hey. Well, this should complete that side quest for the fishmonger, and it'll get me out of debt. Have you got any fish for the order? Yes, I do. Here's your gray eel. $52.93 for those 2 fish. Good, good. They should be pleased with these. I've got another order here. This one's a little more curious. They want a couple of squid and a whole black grouper. Don't see many people fishing squid these days. They only feed at night, and well, you know what nights are like around here. Good luck. And yes, seagulls can get to your catch. So, every once in a while, you will lose a fish to blight, or a seagull will come along and get one of them. But $34 and then $17 for the other. The mayor is walking quickly towards you. He seems to be in a good mood with a spring in his step. Fantastic news. Thanks partly to your efforts, Greater Marrow is growing. Our town is sure to be swarming with visitors any day now. In fact, I've granted consent for the shipwreck to expand her facilities. The old dry dock is operational again. I've also allocated some money to improve the fishmonger services. He might have something to talk to you about soon. Keep up the good work. We're glad you've chosen to be here with us. This is the dry dock. We can make significant improvements to your vessel here. We're talking extra space, more attachment points for equipment, and even superior hulls. Although we're going to need refined metal for the hull upgrades. We'll need a decent stock of hard materials for these projects. Lumber, metal scraps, that sort of thing. How do I get materials? There's plenty of decent materials around the coast from various shipwrecks and the like. I'm sure you'll find a way to get at them. Materials assigned towards upgrades here will be stored, so don't worry if you don't have all of what we need. For example, I need 1 metal scraps and 2 lumber for the light upgrade. So, let's go into storage. And that'll stay there until I finish the order. And we'll go to the shipwright now that we have 350 bucks. Could put an upgraded motor on it or a bigger light, but I think I'm going to hold off for now. And we are going to rest again. Can't fish there yet. Can't dredge yet. How are we doing on that book, by the way? 71% complete. If I remember correctly, that gives me a... Oh, and by the way, this is one of those... A slab of rock juts from the water bearing quick symbols of curved fish. At its base, a rough shape has been chiseled away. And what we need here... is, if I remember correctly, five cod, if I remember correctly, to fill in that pattern. Okay, there goes 2 of the squid for that, and then I've got to find a black grouper. $88 for the rest of that. Gonna put in that second engine, and if I have the money, which I do, there we go. And the sustainable fishing is complete. Yeah, 10% chance to not reduce fish stocks when fishing with a rod. Notice that one of those cod was an aberration. Okay, we're full. I guess we can head back to... Whew, that was close. Nearly hit that rock and did damage. When you take damage, depending on where it gets hit, it can either disable a system, like one of your fishing rods or one of your engines, or it can even cause you to lose the fish overboard, because obviously you can't store fish anywhere that there's a hole. You hand the grotesque fish to the fishmonger. He grins, raising the fish up to his face before inhaling a deep, stuttering breath. Ah, now this is the sort of specimen to liven up my day. I wonder. He runs his fingers firmly along the length of the fish, as though feeling for something. He pushes from one side of its stomach, and a small shake can be seen against the scales. He slices the fish open. From its stomach, he pulls a small piece of fabric and spreads it on the counter. It's a delicately patterned handkerchief. Well, I've never seen that before in all my days. I'll give you this thing, and I'll pay you for the fish too, of course. It's not the first corrupted fish I've seen in these parts, so I'm sure you'll find more before too long. I'll pay you well if you find any more. And I get that handkerchief. And I know where to drop that off, too. And then get another 52 for that stingray. A man is looking at you through your cabin window. His face is mostly in shadow. I know what you took to the fishmonger, and I'll be clear, I know he extracted an artifact from it. I need to inspect it, but not here. Meet me on Blackstone Isle. Head out of the bay and cut south. I have a business proposition that you'll want to hear. I'll be waiting. Well, let's go on ahead. Let's go ahead and not steer into the side of the dock. That'd be a good thing to start with. And check and see if we can find another cod along the way somewhere. Can't, that's oceanic. Can't. That requires dredging equipment that I don't have. Okay, fine. First things first. Message in the bottle. And then we're going to steer out here to his island. The man is standing in the doorway, watching you approach. He's holding an old book in one hand. It's bound in crimson with silver ribbons. You came. Good. Allow me to introduce myself. I am a collector of many things. Art and artifacts, treasures and truths, and curios that occupy the periphery of desire. And you have something from me. You give the handkerchief to the collector. He holds it up to the flickering light and studies it. These patterns are unmistakable even after all this time. The handkerchief comes from an old ship I've been searching for. It sank many years ago. It carried items of great importance. As you can imagine, retrieving them is proving to be challenging. That's where you come in. My proposition is this. I will outfit your vessel with equipment that will let you dredge the wrecks and dark depths. Find me these lost relics, and I will reward you in ways beyond all imagining. You need not give up your fishing career. I'll merely need a few hours with your vessel to make the necessary alterations. What do you say? I accept. An excellent decision. I'll prepare the equipment immediately. You absolutely need that dredging equipment, otherwise you will never advance in the game. The relics we're looking for are a ring, a necklace, a watch, and a music box and key. I would encourage you to ask around the towns about shipwrecks or other strange occurrences, anything that might be worth investigating. Return when you have something. Yeah, it generally is. And hello, Carrie. I knew there had to be some cod around here somewhere. Ooh, fun. If it'll let me. And it won't, because it's oceanic. This kind of thing is why you want that dredging equipment right here. And that's the key that the collector is looking for. Although what I'm looking for now is that, I think it's around this side of the island. Looking for that shrine that we passed earlier. Not that. Here we are. A wave washes over the fish, sweeping them away. When the water recedes, you notice something is lodged against the rock. And this is a sinew spindle, which allows me to fish both coastal and shallow. It's not as efficient as my basic fishing pole or my simple skimmer, but okay, we're going to put that in storage and try to get at least a little profit out of this ship. Well, found an aberration. And my boat is pretty close to full, so I'm going to go ahead and head back in. Fisherman, have you run into a photographer on your travels? She docked here a few days ago for supplies. I suggested that she take some pictures of the town for promotional purposes, but she didn't seem too interested. She mentioned she was heading south. Perhaps you should introduce yourself. You approach a woman sitting on the dockside, staring out to sea. She turns to you. What's it like out there? It's peaceful, it's difficult, or I don't want to talk about it. It's difficult. It's got to be better than this bloody town. I think I just need to get away for a while. Maybe not come back. Going backwards is a mistake, don't you think? You should always keep moving forward, moving along. I can't go back. She's gazing out to sea again, lost in thought. Say, if you find me some materials, maybe you can help me move? I mean, really move. There's an island I've heard about, Steel Point, just to the north. 2 units of lumber and 2 units of scrap is all I need. Well, I have that, but that's for me. Just stack it up at Steel Point when you have anything. I'll pay you when the job's done. Meanwhile, let's go to the fishmonger. Because we do have the black grouper that he wants. The fishmonger wraps up the fish and hands you some money. I didn't think you had it in you. Night fishing is a tall order. Been meaning to talk to you about a new business venture I've been considering. Crab pots. I've got one here for you, in fact. It's a bit banged up, but you can get it fixed at the shipwright. Deploy a crab pot. Don't forget where you put it. Should be pretty straightforward. Just drop it out at sea anywhere, then come back after a day or two to check on it. I've got a customer after a fiddler crab and a common crab. Both species can be found around here. I found this book out back. Could be useful to you. He reaches under the counter and hands you a damp, battered book. A few shimmering fish scales are stuck to the cover. Also, pig-like tusks protrude from the mouth of this ravenous brute. With no eyes to speak of, it attacks indiscriminately. That's $83 for one fish, all by itself. And then we'll talk to the shipwright at the dry dock. Yes, I'm aware. And now that I have all the stuff for that, I now have an additional light space. And just like the research menu, you do have to unlock all 4 of these before you can get the Tier 2 hull upgrade. So let's just dump that in there for now. And we'll find more wooden stuff later. And we will dump out a crab pot somewhere. Go ahead and repair that basic crab pot. Also, if I wanted to, I could mount a second cloudy lens. It doesn't increase the range, but it does give you more lumens. I'm not going to, though. And then cabin. Messages. This is 21st of August. We had a slight accident yesterday around the shallows at the back of Greater Marrow. A rock seemingly appeared out of nowhere and struck the front of the boat. It did not penetrate the hull, but it jostled us around, and a few items fell into the water. We did not see what they were, which is of some concern, but we believe all important articles are accounted for. He has been checking over some notes from the boat renaming ceremony. He's paranoid he performed the steps incorrectly. I have never known him to be so superstitious. And we're going to mark that as our currently active book. That's the island where that woman wants us to deposit stuff. The encyclopedia adds the tusked grouper, which is an aberration of the black grouper here. And you notice aberration marked there. Same thing goes, the all-seeing cod is marked. And there's 2 to 3 aberrations for everything. And you'll be seeing more aberrations as time goes on. Lighthouse keeper. Do you know of any shipwrecks around here? She eyes you suspiciously. There's a spot near the back of Greater Marrow where the current carries in wreckage from the sea. Some nights you can see an unnatural glow rising from the patch of dark water. I can't imagine what's down there in the deep. So if you're looking for what I think you're looking for, it's best you just move on. Have you heard of any strange things happening? I see plenty of strange things from atop the lighthouse. Sometimes I don't know whether or not I can trust my own eyes. She holds the lantern up so it shines brightly onto your face. Are you really standing here in front of me? Or is this just another of the fog's tricks? Who lives on Blackstone Isle? I see a lot from up here, you know. I saw that ill-fated boat return. I chose to look the other way. I watched an unnatural glow flicker through those windows. Whatever you've got planned, I hope you know what you're doing out there. I should go. Okay, let's rest a while. And dock. And since we have the key that guy was looking for, we'll head out that way. And maybe catch a few fish while we're at it. Ha! And we're going to deploy our crab pot right there. It's only 10 feet deep, but there's crabs down there, so... You enter the collector's house. He's standing at the back of the room, still holding the silver and crimson book. He seems impatient. Well, you have something, don't you? Show me. You hand him the key. The cold metal shimmers a strange shine as he holds it. The shape of the key, the teeth, the head, now somehow seem changed, smaller. Has it always been this way? Is this all? Where's the lock? The collector grows agitated. It seems the pieces we're looking for have traveled further than I anticipated. Much further, I suspect. In that case, allow me to aid your travels. He turns a few pages in his book and mutters something low under his breath. A burst of light fills your vision and you stagger back briefly. Now go. We have more relics to uncover. My intuition tells me that the current may have carried some debris to the southeast towards the Gale Cliffs. Make that your priority. I'll mark a location on your map where you can begin your search. Anything else? Where should I look for relics? My intuition... Yeah, Gale Cliffs. Okay, gotcha. I've already marked a location on your map to begin your search. Do you know who owned these relics? Yes. Wow, not very informative, is he? Who? He looks at you. For a moment, a look of something like regret flashes in his eyes. An old friend. Anything else? How long have you lived here? Quite some time. I used to be a fisherman, as was my father before, but 2 decades ago, I took up residence here. I needed to focus on other endeavors. I found that this island has a certain strength to it, those dark basalt columns stretching downwards into the deep. Anything else? The words you read from that book, what did they do to me? The book holds power from the deep. I merely extended its powers towards you. Is there one in particular you wish to know more about? Haste. The words of haste are instant and cruel. They will impart a terrible speed to your vessel. Be warned, however, it may put a great deal of stress on your engines. Are there other powers you wish to know more about? Not yet. The workshop looks as though it hasn't been used in decades. And it's locked. So, we might as well undock. And I'll do a quick search around his island for either parts or some fish I haven't done yet. Can't fit another one. The stone hums quietly, sending ripples through the air around it. Faint shapes dance upon its surface, vanishing before your eyes can focus on them. It does not respond to your touch. Okay, well, I don't have much choice with... Nope. Maybe. A ring. It's something I can sell. A brood squid. Tentacles sprout from a glowing core inside a gelatinous sac. Other cores lay dormant alongside. Well, that's another aberration that I can take back to this guy. The lighthouse keeper emerges from the forest that flanks the town. She walks towards the dock with a confused look on her face. Oh, it's you. Who were you expecting? Your engine, it sounds like... I'm sorry, I mistook it for the vessel of an old friend. She turns and walks back towards the lighthouse. Okay, let's go to the fishmonger. Haven't seen that strange red light in a while. Wonder what it was. Well, Gonna sell you all of those. And then I'm gonna go over to the... If you're wanting to get a bit more out of your engines, take a look through this book, On the House. She pulls a book from a toolbox nearby and hands it to you. A few of the pages are stuck together with grease. Okay, there's my coastal, there's my shallow. There we go, put that in there because now we can get coastal and shallow and have those extra spaces open. Fishing speed is a little bit slower, but it is what it is. And the simple skimmer isn't that much faster, actually. Still need to find more parts for that. For that matter, what I need to do, when I can afford to, rods, reels, and rigs is 60% complete. When I can afford to, I need to research something like the refined outboard engine, because I can combine one of those and get about 50 knots out of my ship instead of 30 something. Go ahead and undock. Check my crab pot on the way. Got a fiddler crab. So I'm going to immediately turn back around and take that to the fish number. Don't forget, if your crab pots get a bit worn out, the shipwright should be able to patch them up. There's one of them right there. Alright, come back when you have everything. And looks like I have a good chance of finding another aberration here. Yep, the three-headed cod. Stop over here and sell the trader that worn gold ring, which is surprisingly only worth 15. Right now, the main reason I'm not fishing is because I'm looking for stuff I can dredge up, like right here. Lots of stuff here. Also, rods, reels, and rigs. Rods reeling fish 10% more effectively is complete. Start reading correct engine operation. A bronze belt buckle. An iron chain. Yay, $7. Oh well. Well, that, and I have the stuff that woman needs to move house. I would rather spend it on me, but on the other hand, completing the quest is useful. Grieving father. Hello, is everything okay? Do you know of any shipwrecks around here? Well, yes, you see, my only son was lost at sea some years ago. He's still out there somewhere, in one of those wrecks, all alone in the cold, dark water. The man is clearly trying his hardest to remain composed, but tremors of grief rack his body. I was wondering, I noticed you have some dredging equipment installed on your vessel. If you're able to retrieve any of his belongings from the wreck, I think he'd feel more at peace if his mementos were with me. He wore a bronze belt buckle, especially engraved. I'd recognize it anywhere. If there's a chance you'd find it, I'd be in your debt. Yes, give the belt buckle to the man. You give it. This is his. Oh, thank you. Bless you. You've returned him to me. Please take this. I've not any money to pay you, but this might hold some value to me. Research parts always hold value to me. What do you know about any strange occurrences? I don't get out a lot anymore, so I don't see much of what goes on. But I do remember the old mayor in his final days. What an awful sight it was. Screaming and throwing things into the sea. Throw it back, he would cry over and over, begging anyone who would listen, howling it to the wind. These days, I almost feel like I understand. Anything else I can help you with? I'd better go. Go to the trader and sell our beautiful chain. Okay. Let's see. Normally I wouldn't, but since I'm going straight across the inlet here, I'm not particularly worried. Oh, and in case you're wondering, sell our $65 worth of fish. And I should probably check the crab pot again. Not only was it a crab, it was a trophy crab. And we'll take that back and turn that into the fishmonger to complete that quest. The fishmonger wraps up the crabs and hands you some money. These'll do. Glad you got some use out of that old pot. You can always buy more here or repair damaged ones at the shipyard. I have one final request for you. As you've seen, some fish around here can develop odd deformities. What do you think happens to a person that eats the flesh of one of these mutants? They go mad. Well, perhaps, but I want to know for sure. Bring me a mutant fish. Any will do. Just keep this between the two of us. Well, I've been bringing him some mutant fish. But right now, what I want to do, first off, pick up the pot because it's so close to dying anyway. Oh, and I can dredge this now too. Rolls of fabric, basically, or pieces of sail. Ah, crap. I came around the wrong direction. When you use that haste, you gotta watch that temperature bar. You know what? I'm gonna move on. You see what I mean about rocks appearing out of nowhere at night. On the plus side, yep, see, fortunately it only damaged the spot that didn't have anything in it. So, okay, almost $40 to repair that. And then go to the dry dock. Now if I find one more piece of wood, I can drop it in there and get the fishing rod upgrade. Or rather the nets upgrade that lets me stock a net on that side. Okay, this time let's try to head in the correct direction. Yes, I am headed the correct direction, thank goodness. A one-strong wooden hull lays broken against the shoreline. The stern is completely breached. You pull a bit closer and manage to clamber into the back of the wreck. You look around, and wow. There are earrings, a research cart, some fabric. Some metal. There we go. And around here is where I dock for that other woman's quest. Material pile. This is the island where the builder wants material delivered. You delivered all the materials, you should let the builder know. Yes, I should. But at the same time, there's more material I can dredge up here. A lot more. Goblet of some sort. Fabric. You know what? I think I'm actually going to throw out that crab pot for now. Besides which, there's better ones in research. There's a lot more metal there, at least 2 more lumps, but I'm going to come right back to this dock and dock up here for the night. Then take all those supplies back to the shipwright and bring that woman out here. Who wants to move out to that island for some reason. Dry dock. Now 2 more pieces of wood is all I'll need for that. I'll dump that and that in storage. And because I can, let's go ahead and purchase the upgrade for the nets and purchase the engine upgrade spaces. Then she takes up cargo space. But before I take her to her new place, I'm going to come across here and sell that goblet. $35 for a goblet, and $25 for the pearl earrings. And reminds me, what can I do in research? I've got 2 slots, and I did say I was going to research the refined outboard engine. You notice that you don't have to have 2 research points. You don't have to have all the research points at once. Like you don't, like for instance, to research this one over here, you don't have to have 5 research parts currently in your inventory. You can just spend them one at a time as you accumulate the parts, which is a nice anti-frustration feature. Yes, this'll do. Thank you, fella. Give me a short while to get things built here. You're welcome back any time. She reaches into her toolbox and pulls out a handful of components. Take these, always good to have on hand. 2 research parts. Then undock again. Come back up here and get the rest of that metal from up here. We can take it back and throw it in storage. And because that took so long, we're going to immediately dock and spend the night here. We're going to research our basic net. And nets are like rods. They're only good for specific kinds, like coastal for that one, mangrove and shallow for that one, volcanic and coastal for that one. But it catches fish automatically. And we're going to go ahead and get a hardy crab pot researched. And how are we doing on our books? Correct engine operation. 5% more speed than listed. well, let's rest until dawn. See if I can find any more salvage around these islands. Since I'm here, might as well. Yeah, I doubted I have the kind of gear for that. And here's some, I think, over here. A silver plate. Well, that might go for some good money. I don't know. Yep. Well, they did decide to include whales and dolphins. You can't catch any of them. Although you can catch some pretty darn big fish once you get to the, no doubt. You can catch some pretty big fish once you get to the, once you get the correct gear, able to hit the deep stuff. Oh, and here's a chance at getting one of the fish that what's his name wants. Ding ding, got what he wanted. And while I'm here, that would be interesting, but I have a feeling that would be something that they'd add to the, remember that, well, I talked about a mode back at the beginning of the game where you can turn off all the plot elements and just focus on the fishing? Well, they might want to, any aberrant will suffice. The fishmonger takes the aberrated fish from you. He clutches it close to his chest, wringing his hands around its slimy bottom. Yes, this should do nicely. Here's what the fish is worth. And why don't you take these too? They're of no use to me. 2 more research parts. You hear that? It sounds like the faintest whispering. You listen. Silence. In the stillness of the room, the fishmonger's hands begin to tremble. His face grows anguished. Please, sell what you need, then leave. I must deal with this creature quickly now. Yeah, sell my remaining fish. I can buy a hearty crab pot if I wanted to. The fishmonger's door slams behind you. You hear the heavy scraping of a metal bar sliding across it. Go to the storage. Go to the dry dock. It's a shame I can't unlock that yet. I need 2 more lumber. And so you've got your basic trawl net, your improved trawl net, and you buy your crab pots at the fishmongers. Go back to research. Not sure why, but it's only one, so... Oh, you have to have something else before you can get there, huh? Okay. No, I ran out of wood. I'm going to have to find some more somewhere. Also, at some point, I'm going to have to find or buy a chunk of refined metal to get the next hull upgrade. The refined metal is hard to find, and each of the hull upgrades... There we go, large crab pot and an efficient crab pot. The main difference, the efficient crab pot only has 3 days, but it catches 2 or 3 per day versus approximately 2 per day. Give me a second. Nix wants in, and I need to refill my water bottle. Okay, I'm back. But as you can see, completing those researches has now given me access to the complex crab pot, which catches approximately 3 per day, and it lasts for up to 6 days. Or the massive crab pot, which is one of the large ones. 5 by 5, but it's durable and spacious. And then that's obviously the ultimate pot. Although at some point I should probably at least research that. It's better than the one that I have, but catches the same kind of fish. Do you know of any shipwrecks around here? Unfortunately, there have been quite a few in recent years. The lighthouse helps, but even it struggles to cut through the fog some nights. We do our best to salvage and clear any shipwrecks that occur around this side of the island. That should make fishing a bit easier for you. Around the back, though, it's harder to get to. There's still some wrecks towards the deeper patches. You'll want to avoid that area. Now, what else can I do for you? What happened to the last fisherman? The last one? Oh, he was very unreliable. He'd go out at night, come back with no fish, and sleep all day. He was also a terrible captain, constantly running aground on the reef, even in broad daylight. The shipwright almost ran out of wood for repairs. Now, he was no good. One evening he left and never came back. He shan't be missed by us. Now, what else can I do for you? How about any strange occurrences? Well, my counterpart in Little Marrow met the most unfortunate end. They say he went mad quite suddenly. One day he was normal, the next he was pacing the shoreline, hurling people's belongings into the sea. After some days like this, he disappeared, never to be seen again. Nowadays, the tale of the old mayor is used to scare children. Not many remember him, myself included, and those that do remember don't seem to like talking about it. Now, what else can I do for you? What about the Ryder region? And you can get details on the other islands. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I've now caught all 3 of the aberrations of the cod, which is nice. Okay, all that's left is searching for relics. Which you notice these are spread out. The music box is over this corner, the ring is over in that corner. No, I'm going to be selling the plate. The guy's right across the other end of the bay, but I'm going to sell it in the morning. and pick up some fish while I'm at it. Keep in mind that the spots like that where you see the haze over them, they don't guarantee a special catch. They just have a better chance of one of the aberrations. But here I'm going to go to the trader. A returning customer, please take this as a symbol of my appreciation. I'm sure you'll find it useful. He pulls a book from a stack sitting on his desk and hands it to you. It's covered in dust, but otherwise seems in good condition. $60 for the silver plate. The edges are slightly discolored, eroded by the salt. Still, $60 is $60. Not going to complain. You ever process shipments for Blackstone Isle? That old ruin? Doubt it. Let's see. He flicks through a large logbook. It appears to be a record of shipping manifests. Thought so. It doesn't even have a shipping address. As far as I know, nobody lives there. What else can I do for you? Do you know of any shipwrecks around here? There were a few around the eastern side of the island. Mostly rotted away by now, I'd expect, or dashed apart by the waves. Poor souls keep hitting rocks in the fog, I guess. There's a blind spot back there where the lighthouse can't be seen. People get turned around. What do you know about strange occurrences? I overheard a tale in the tavern some years ago. It sounded pretty strange to me. Supposedly, some 20-odd years ago, a fisherman from these parts hauled up an old sealed casket from the seafloor. Minor spoiler, it was you. They pried it open and took what was inside for themselves. That very night the fog rolled in for the first time, and it's cloaked the seas every night since. What was in that accursed casket, nobody knows. All of the crew that laid eyes on its contents went mad, or worse. That casket and crew have since disappeared without a trace, but the fog remains. What else can I do for you? I better go. Okay. There we go. A little bit of fish Jenga to fit all that in. And we're going to head back over here and sell all that. And then we're going to go search for more shipwrecks. Or at least for some more wood. The fishmonger's door is barred from the inside, so I can't sell it yet. Well, I hate doing it, because most of those fish are going to be stale by morning. Blinding headache today. Did you come by yesterday? I don't recall. Anyway, what can I do for you? Yeah, see, they're all stale now. But at least none of them, and that one's actually rotting. But it's still worth something. $105. Also, if I go to the shipwright and go to engines, uninstall that, send it to storage, move this. There. Now my speed is up to 52.5 knots. 52 knots is darn fast. Yeah, I did. It was $36 to repair. The snag squid. Tasting tongues writhe wildly around sets of yellowed crooked teeth. The top row are flattened like human molars. So, another aberration, and I can turn right back around and head back in with a full load of fish. I know I said I was going hunting for wood, but don't overcommit yourself, especially when the sun starts going down. Better to come back with a small catch than to not come back at all. Oh, I agree. But let's sell all those fish for that $149. Considering I just spent $300 on an engine. Now we'll set out and look for shipwrecks. There's some right over here, which looks like it might have lumber. It had a lumber. I need 2. Fortunately, I think this is more... Nope, this is fabric. I'll take the cloth, though. It'd be stupid not to. Ah, here we are. Lumber. And again, a lumber. It is what I needed to buy that last upgrade, yeah. And that'll unlock the improved ship hull. Which, of course, then I'll need to get supplies for that, too. Now, for the Tier 2 hull upgrade, I need 1 more cloth, 4 more wood. Oh, no, I don't need 1 more cloth. I have 1 more cloth. I do need 2 sets of metal parts. I still need 4 wood and the 1 piece of refined metal, but then I can upgrade to a Tier 2 hull, which adds 5 more spaces for cargo. I don't have the research I need to get. I need to get 2 more research parts, which you sometimes can find them in shipwrecks, to get that flexible fishing pole to replace the one I have. Coastal and shallow? Yeah, absolutely. But, given the time of... Whoop, hold on, wake up. Cabin. The relaxed mind. Marked out as active. Now finish sleeping. And I'm actually going to head out to the Gale Cliffs. That is, as soon as I go the right direction. There we are. Inkville resident. What is it? Do you need help with anything? I've been trying to prepare a special meal for my partner, but I've been having some issues. Around here we consider aged conger eels to be a particular delicacy. You may say they're rotting, but they're delicious if prepared correctly. Normally we bury them in the ground and allow them to mature, but our dog keeps digging them up and eating them. I can't raise the subject without spoiling the surprise. Can you bring me an aged conger eel? Yes. Thank you. You'll be decently compensated. Anything else? Where can I catch a conger eel? Ah, yes, they can be tricky to find. I'm told they inhabit the holes and burrows within the cliffs themselves. I imagine they've been fished out around the edges, so you may have to venture into the passageways of the cliffs to find them. Oh, and did I mention that they only come out at night? Yes, I believe they hide during the day. Good luck. Anything else? Where can I sell my fish here? We catch our fish ourselves here, so we don't have much need for buying any, but there's a merchant that travels around. She's usually anchored across the bay. She buys and sells almost anything and does repairs, too. Anything else? What can you tell me about the cliffs? Many years ago, the cliffs used to be a haven for smugglers and pirates. Legend tells that 2 pirate lords used Gale Cliffs as their hideout. Supposedly, they got into some disagreement, and a huge battle was fought around the south side of the cliffs. There certainly are a large number of wrecks in that area. Both sides were completely destroyed, their treasure hoards left abandoned and unclaimed to this day. I dare say they'd be worth a lot if anyone knew where to find them. Anything else? What about any odd characters? Have you heard the tale of Magrin? He was an old whaler from these parts. As the whales got more scarce, the crew spent longer and longer at sea trying to find them. Magrin, it seems, wasn't cut out for this. He formed an unnatural attachment to a scroll he found on one of these trips. He says the scroll told him how to become immortal by eating mutated fish. People started calling him Magrin the Fisherman. One day the town awoke to find all the boats, nets, and lines had been slashed in the night, and Magrin was nowhere to be found, nor has he been seen since. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Retired whaler. Are there any shipwrecks around here? The real wreck is the settlement at Gale Cliffs. My brother ditched us and moved on over to those cliffs years ago. I suspect he's regretting his decision now. And there will be a side quest to reunite these 2 brothers. Anything else? Have you heard about any strange things in the area? Some time ago, there was a sudden exodus from Gale Cliffs. Dozens of ships sailed past, packed up and hurrying north as fast as they could. They were waving and shouting something at us from their boats, but we couldn't make it out. Never did see or hear of them since. What can you tell me about anything? Used to be a whaling town. Emphasis on used to be. We'd go out, bring in a carcass, and then the rest of the town would get to work. But the whales got scarce some 20 years ago, and now look at us. Barely scraping by for a new candle. Anything else? Okay, we still have a little bit of time. Right now I'm just unlocking the different kinds of fish that can be found in this area. So I'm only like fishing up one of each. And maybe picking up some salvage. Research parts. Message in a bottle. Might be something here. Stonefish. And heading over here to the roving trader. Your new face, the fisherman, I take it? Perfect. Well, we should get along like a house on fire. I'm a traveler and a merchant, all rolled into one. If you have any fish to sell, I'll take them on board and sell them at the next town I come across. Likewise, I haul a small cargo of equipment between places. You're welcome to peruse the stock and see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Come and see me when you're ready to trade. Fish market. On this side of the pontoon, I'll buy any fish you want to sell. I also keep a stock of crab pots here for sale. Well, say, have you met the photographer? She stopped by my pontoon a little while back. She's loaded up with fancy camera equipment to take pictures of all the wildlife. She sighs wistfully. I wish I had my own camera. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to document everything you do? You'd never forget anything. Anyway, she said she was setting up on a small island south of the Marrows. If you're in the area, maybe you could check on her. You might be used to dry docks at other ports, but we can make the same upgrades to your boat here at this floating dock. Check it out. Yeah, but I can't make the one I need because I don't have any of the stuff you need. Most of this gear is super heavy, so I don't offload it at every pontoon, but see what equipment I've got for sale. And she does have stuff that's not available anywhere else, like those halogen spotlights, which I am definitely going to invest in, by the way. So that one. And buy one of those halogen spotlights, which is 1800 lumens with a range of 82 feet, compared to the 750 lumens at 65 feet of the other one. So that's a worthwhile investment. Then in research, I still need to put some points into flexible fishing poles, so I'm going to put my one research into there for now. Yeah, it does. Except that you don't start with any light on your boat. You gotta buy one. Can't fish there. Oh, hey, Rex. There's 3 out of the 4 I need right there. A silver trinket, I'm sure that'll go for good money somewhere. Yeah, that is true. But that is sort of part of the game. Now, one more piece of wood and the refined metal. So... oh, and she has a research part for sale, which I don't have the money for, or refined metal, which I don't have the money for. So, rest until morning and make some fishing trips. Oh, she wanted something.
Ah.
Do you need help with anything? Assistance from an angler? Absolutely. I've been trying to collect records of where each species of fish is located. I figured out most of them on my travels so far, but there are a few I haven't been able to track down. Reckon you could share your info with me? Sure, I can help with that. Great. The fish I have left to track down are the oarfish, the gulper eel, the Goliath tigerfish, and the coelacanth. Or coelacanth. I know a little about each species already, so maybe I can point you in the right direction. Well, tell me about the oarfish. Given their long, fragile body, I suspect they'll live in reasonably deep but calm water. Maybe Yale cliffs would suit them? Gulper eels live at the deepest depths imaginable. You'll have to get some specialist gear to catch one of those. Goliath tigerfish. Legitimately scary. They hunt in murky, swampy waters using the shade of trees as cover. Which means mangroves. Actually, I have no idea where they might be, but they have a primordial feel to them, don't you think? What about the other fish? Okay, that's just that. What do you know about Gale Cliffs? Well, there's Inkfell, which is a dreary little whaling town. The folks are always in need of something which keeps me in business. The residents are always talking about the cliffs, most seem afraid. Frankly, I'm not sure why they stay. Occasionally I hear deep rumblings from within the rocks. I don't hang around here for long. Are you always out on the water? Yeah, always. I like to keep moving along. The merchanting is secondary to the traveling, really. I'm more of a merchanting traveler. I get to see a lot of places, which is nice. I also get to meet a lot of people, which is only sometimes nice. Anything else? What about strange things out at sea? Plenty, but I try not to dwell on them. You could go crazy, you know. Huh. But hey, if you're seeing strange things, maybe you're not seeing them the right way. Maybe they're not so strange after all. Or perhaps they are and they're incredibly dangerous. Better not risk it. Anything else you want to talk about? Okay, now to go fishing. Again. Because I need quite a chunk of money if I'm going to get that, those research parts or anything. An old man emerges from one of the nearby broken buildings and hobbles towards you. Oh, greetings. Don't get many visitors around here. What is it you need? Do you know how I can clear the debris around here? You probably need some explosives to shift those rocks. My brother Inkfeld used to make them. For the whaling operations, you see. Nasty stuff. But with the whales on gone, I can't imagine he's still in business. What else do you want to know? This place doesn't seem safe. Why do you live here? I've been stubbornly holding out here for quite some time. Truth be told, I've been really considering my position lately. I've been happy here for so long. My wife and I had such a beautiful life until the collapse. Now I'm alone and cut off by land and sea, left only with those trembling rocks on all sides. I could help you move to Inkfell. It's not that simple. My brother would never... You see, I used to live in Inkfell with my brother. He was a whaler back in the day. Yes, we know. Things were bad. We fought a lot, mostly about how our parents' inheritance should be divided. We were in the prime foolishness of our youth. When my wife and I decided to move here, I took the family crest. I stole it from him. Now, after all the time, I can't return without it. Where is it? That's where the problem lies. After the collapse, that creature, it dragged debris from the houses down into its wretched burrows. The crest went down with it. In other words, I got a dredge for it. It's a lost cause, I know, but if you were to find it, it's a large whalebone crest. It would mean the world to me. I'll look for it. Thank you, but please be careful. Also, throw that in storage. There, I think that's about as full as I'm going to get on this one. Let's see how much I'm going to get. $134.96 for that. Well, that puts me at enough for that research, at least. But instead, I think I'm going to try to come find another load of stuff. Tiger mackerel added to the encyclopedia. Another aberrant fish, a decaying blackmouth in this case. Decaying blackmouth. The shimmering blackness permeates the flesh of this relentless fish. Muscles atrophied and decaying, but still it swims on. Well, let's sell all these fish. A wreckfish. That's a big one. Okay, well, that's $190 worth of fish. Let's go over to the floating dock. No, wrong one. Shipyard. Because I really want... Oh, wait. Dadgummit. Okay, well... Fine. Art of the Silver Tongue. She gave me a book. Flicking through it, you see page corners turned in and handwritten notes in the margins. Now I just need to find one more piece of lumber and I can get that $500 upgrade. Do I have enough money for... No, I don't have enough for the research parts at this point. There's also a couple of pieces of refined metal on the map that you can just find. Like there's a pirate's cave around here that has a ship in it, and you can find a hunk of refined metal in that. But I'm not worried about that at the moment. I can't harvest there. I didn't realize it had gotten that late in the day. So, I'll have to turn back around and go back to her pontoon boat. At some point I'll have to buy a crab pot too. I think it's in there in that cave is where that wreck that I was talking about is. But what I need is a wreck with a piece of wood. Well, not this one. But I did get the research part that I needed. Yeah. And it can damage your boat, but it's not like gonna sweep you off or anywhere. In case you're wondering why I'm going so slow, it's because a big evil fish rammed my boat and disabled my faster engine. Fortunately, good news is I need to start reading Art of the Silver Tongue. Vessel, SY Grand Prize, owner Mr. Michael Schultz, port, Gale Cliffs. Oaken music box, purchased from the antiquarian for a bargain price. Previously salvaged from an undisclosed shipwreck. Has the letter J carved on the underside, otherwise in reasonable condition. Has not been opened for fear of damaging the mechanism, pending inspection by locksmith. Wooden mask, carved wooden tribal mask, said to bring good luck, fertility, good health, fortune, rain, and protection from evil spirits. Traded for a pair of socks and a pocket watch chain. 12-piece tea set. Bone china, 6 cups and 6 saucers, acquired from an Eastern dealer. Do not use. Jar of earth. A jar containing earth from a meteor impact site. Allegedly. Okay, research. And we can now get the flexible fishing pole. No, not the floating dock. Shipyard. Actually, I can sell that, actually. And it becomes available to buy again if I want it. Damn it. You son of a gun. Okay. Can't believe I did that. Don't have the money for the fishing pole that I just researched and sold the fishing pole I was using. Good job, Mark. Don't need no metal right now. Damn it, that was a prize fish that I just missed. Might have to settle for buying back the rod I was using until I can get enough fish to actually... Still not enough. Because it's going to cost me $460 to get that flexible pole. Alright, fine. It's cheaper to do it this way. No, I already got that. What I need to do is I need to find a piece of lumber. And I still have to save up $500. But I can get the... but I got the refined metal for the upgrade. Oh, hey, what do you know? I needed one more piece of wood. Well, I got it. Another message in a bottle found. Nope, that's not going to be small enough to fit in my available space. There's the family crest. Ugh. This is going to be annoying. Because I'm going to have to throw away a fish or something. Again? I would go on ahead and sell that stonefish. Oh, damn it. And I went on ahead and sold the conger eel, too. Now I'm going to have to head back out and get that again. Well, now everything's in place for the upgrade. Doing this, but now I've got to head back and see if I can find that conger eel again. And I just lost both of them. So now I don't have any. Plus, I have to do repairs now. Well, at least I can take this guy, the family crest he's been wanting.
Ah.
Is this your family crest? You found it. I never thought I'd see this again. But now I have a further favor to ask. Would you take this to my brother? Tell him his brother is sorry and would like to come home. Okay. And while I'm at it, found a perch. I need a perch. I haven't seen this since... so he did take it. I knew it. Your brother's sorry. Will you let him come home? I don't know if... I was in the right state when he left. Okay, fine. He can stay in my old workshop, at least for the time being. But I'll need some time to clear it out. While I'm doing that, perhaps you can do something for me. See, I've been trying to clear some debris in the pathways through the cliffs to make a shortcut, with explosives. I was able to set a charge, but the cliff seemed particularly unsteady that day, so I didn't risk detonating it. You just need to get in there and set it off. It's not far in. I left some yellow flags nearby. You can't miss it. Anything else? Head through the rock arch to the southeast. Follow the channel and you'll see the yellow flags on the right. Yeah, there's the rock arch that he was talking about. But first... Wow. I will be so happy to actually have more space on this boat. It's alright, $100 is $100. And another $50 and I can get that upgrade. So... I'm actually not going to detonate the explosives just yet. I'm going to catch some more fish. So that maybe I can get that upgrade. An enthralled stonefish. A hollowed husk hosting a hostile dweller. The eyes inside begin their search for a safer vessel. In other words, it's a possessed fish. $114, which is what I wanted at the floating dock. Hi. Now I need to get some of these. There, now I can put as many parts as I can into getting the upgrade for rods, the upgrade for spaces, and the upgrade for more engine room. In fact, I can already get that if I can raise $75. That is one of the reasons your storage is so valuable. You can store all those parts ahead of time. Whoop, hold on, wake up. I don't want to sleep another night. And you notice the boat has obviously changed a little bit. Bag of doubloons, which I'll be able to sell for a decent price. Damn it, that was one of the good fish, too. Well, that's still $139 worth of fish. Send that to storage. Repair that. There we are. A pile of loose debris. In the gaps between the rocks, you can see what appear to be large white teeth. There's a long fuse trailing out from the side. This must be the location the whaler once cleared for a shortcut. Light the fuse? Yes. The debris crumbles away. You should let the whaler know. And also, if I'm not mistaken, this waterfall over here, oh, Art of the Silver Tongue is finally complete, which gives me 10% increased sell prices, 10% reduced buy prices. A rotten chest sits atop a pile of rubble at the back of the cave. Look inside. What a coincidence, there's the refined metal I was talking about. Well, in this case, it's not exactly what you think. Turns out they're basically whale teeth, and the guy who makes the explosives hollows them out and uses them to make, and fills them with gunpowder to make the explosives. So. You've done it. We heard the blast from here. God's the echo. I'm surprised the cliffs didn't come down in your head. I've got things ready here. Go and tell my brother that he can come home. I'll tell him in the morning. And after I've gone and sold these fish. $78. That doubloon can go to storage. The big bag of doubloons can go to storage, and that can go to storage. And that flexible pole is still going to cost me a couple $100 more. Annoying, but what can you do? Pick up a few fish along the way. But not too many or we won't have room for the brother. Your brother forgives you. He's found you a place to stay. He does? That's a huge weight off my chest. One so old I hardly remembered it was there. Right, well, I'm packed and ready to go. Got to drag him on board. He climbs aboard with all of his belongings. And we undock. And catch some other fish. or a few more fish. The hermit notices the old whaler standing on the dock waiting for him. Little brother, you're home. I'm so sorry. I was so foolish. We both were. Come on inside. Let me get your bags. The two brothers walk away down the dock. One of them pauses for a moment and turns back to you. Oh, stranger, if you find any more debris that needs clearing, I'm working on making some more packed explosives. Come by the old whaling yards anytime. And if we go by the whaling yards, see, hollowed out whale teeth packed with a powdery substance. A fuse coils up from the top. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's accidentally done that before. And the packed explosives are $36 a pop. Well, one of the nice things is I can come right in here. I piled the loose debris. It could be cleared to make a shortcut. Yes, let's make a shortcut. The debris crumbles away. Now, why would we do that? Because it gives us access to this. A pair of sapphire earrings. And the relic music box that other guy wanted back. And then go to the fish market. Sell all that stuff. Rest until morning. And then we're heading back to the island where that one guy was. That guy that was looking for those artifacts. Not those islands, though. Now, the next spell that the guy gives us is going to be a useful one because it lets us teleport right back to him from anywhere on the map. So you returned. I wasn't sure you were coming back. You dragged the music box into the room, gouging the wooden floorboards beneath it. The collector doesn't seem to mind. He's focused on the box. You found this at the cliffs, didn't you? Yes. Ah, excellent. This should make future return journeys a little more swift. Allow me. He selects one of the silver ribbons trailing from the crimson-bound book, opening it to some unseen page. Turning to catch the dim light, he whispers the words on the page. After a few seconds, you feel your stomach drop suddenly, as though thrown high by a wave. He closes the book and turns his attention back to you. Now, there are yet more relics to find. Keep looking. Ability unlocked. Manifest. Instantly return to Blackstone Isle. The reef at Stellar Basin may have caught and accumulated some wreckage. Search around that area. I'll mark a location on your map where you can begin your search. Anything else? He doesn't want common trinkets. Okay. Undock again. And we're going to head over here to this little isle, to the trader over here. We're going to go into my storage and pull out these big old bags of doubloons and silver trinket and another doubloon. Got the trader. Oh, let's see. $44 for the sapphire earrings, $16.50 for the doubloon, $60.50 for the bag of doubloons, $165 for the big bag of doubloons, and $33 for the silver trinket. Nice. Then we're going to undock again. And do some fishing because of course we are. And there's nothing else we can do. We don't have enough room for anything else. So we're going to come back over here. The lighthouse keeper is waiting for you on the dock, looking displeased. I saw you sailing out towards the horizon, crossing that deep expanse. Do you really think that's wise? That's the problem. It feels a bit like tempting fate, does it not? Things are bad enough around here without your provocations. Abruptly, she walks away, her eyes scanning the water as she walks along the dock. Go to the fishmonger. Let's see. $193 in fish. And I really do want to pick up an efficient crab pot at some point. Maybe two. But for now, let's go to the shipwright and get that flexible fishing pole that I've been wanting. There we go. And go to the dry dock. And you notice that something else here is that the stuff that you put in at the dry dock over there is in the dry dock over here. So if you've got the supplies, might as well purchase the extra engine space. And we need more parts, and we need more wood to upgrade the cargo spaces, which adds even more spaces to the hull. And Nix wants to be let out. Anyway, this is as good a point as any to end the stream. I wanted to end it a little bit early today, but I've given you a taste of Dredge. And if you guys want me to return to this after after that other game hits, Starfield. Sorry, blanked on the name for just a second here. Anyway, if you want me to return to this after Starfield, then let me know in the Discord or in the comments. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate your support. If you're new and you're watching this and you want to support what I do, don't forget to, well, at least consider leaving a like and subscribing and maybe leaving a comment. And have a great rest of your day. See you for the next one.